Hey, my name is Mike, and this is a too long didn't read version of Blast Furnace on normal. Having 3 tanks for this fight can really help you out. The strategies I'm giving in this video are based off of my kill. There is different methods in defeating this encounter, however this is the one that worked for me. In phase 1 you want to split your raid in half. Each side is responsible for taking care of the adds there. In phase 1 there's 4 different types of adds. The first one you want to kill is the Bellows Operator because he increases the heat of the heart of the mountain by 2. This makes it do more damage. The next add you want to kill is the Furnace Engineer. They throw bombs on people and also drop bombs when they die. If you pick up a bomb or get one thrown on you, you have to run to the side of the furnace and drop it on the heat regulators there. Destroying both sides' heat regulators is what starts phase 2. The engineer also likes to repair the furnace, so make sure that you're interrupting him. Security guards should be killed last, and they put this purple zone around them. Any adds caught in this circle will take significantly less damage, so always make sure there's nothing in there, and always make sure that you're not standing in here because it does damage to you. The security guards can be mind controlled by priests for phase 2. The Slay Elemental ability that you get should be used on the Slag Elementals. The fourth add is a mini boss called Foreman Feldspar and should be killed last. He does Pyroclasm, which should be interrupted as often as possible because it deals a high amount of damage. He also puts Rupture on random people in the raid. This creates a fire puddle underneath that player after about 5 seconds. These should never be dropped in the raid. The Foreman also does an AoE to anyone around him. My group actually left the Foreman up for the entire fight. The only time we hit him was with Cleave or when there was no other adds alive. The Furnace also does a raid-wide AoE. In phase 2 there's now 3 different types of adds. Security guards continue to spawn. There's also fire callers that spawn in this phase. They do Cauterized Wounds, which heals their target for 10% health and should always be interrupted. These should also be priority before you kill a Slag Elemental. Slag Elementals fixate on a person and cast Burn on them. You should be interrupting Burn. The person that's fixated has to bring them to one of the 4 elementalists in the middle of the room. When a Slag Elemental dies, it does an explosion. That explosion takes off the immunity on the elementalist that's beside it. At this point, all your DPS should be focusing down the elementalist. They also put Reactive Earth Shield on themselves, which should be purged immediately because it heals them. Volatile Fire goes on random people in this phase. It's a 10-second debuff that after it fades deals damage to anyone within 8 yards of you, so obviously you want to make sure that no one's around you. You should be killing as many adds as possible in this phase, especially the Fire Callers. You primarily should be killing the Slag Elementals and then the elementalists when their immunity goes down. You should only be killing the other adds when you have a little bit of downtime and when it gets really hectic. The Slag Elementals also don't die, they just get defeated and they will respawn. After you kill all 4 elementalists in this phase, phase 3 starts. In phase 3 the boss becomes active. The boss is your main priority and the adds should just be cleaved down. In this phase the boss will cast Melt on a random person. This spawns a molten circle underneath that person and everyone should be running away from it as fast as possible. If you stand in it you take damage and it also gets bigger the longer you stand in it. There's 2 tank abilities in this phase. The first is called Heat. It's a stacking dot that also applies Tempered for each stack of heat. Tempered is a stacking debuff that increases the damage you take from heat. Its stacks will never exceed the amount of heat stacks you have, but it will also never go down. So if you go up to 3 stacks of heat, your tempered stacks will always be at 3. Try not to get your tempered stacks above 3. For this phase, my group just sent all the range to stack up together, and then when the boss casted Melt, they all moved together. They started off in the corner of the room by one of the heat regulators from phase 1, and slowly made their way forwards towards the boss. If they were getting too close to the boss, we would just move the boss. If phase 2 gets a little bit hectic, feel free to use your offensive or defensive cooldowns. However, make sure they are available for phase 3. That was a too long didn't read version of the Blast Furnace on normal. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for watching and have a great day.